What is up? Thanks for joining me back on my channel. So, shooting this on the webcam. Hopefully it turns out. Do have a topic for this vid, and that is, where do you get your news from? You know, what's your daily news source? And it may be sources. I'll give you mine, and I'll give you a chance to give me yours down in the comment section below. Keep it classy. But before I do that, I want to give a big shout out to iCarry1. I was over on his channel tonight, posted up a comment. I mean, his vids are creme de la creme. This is a great channel. Go check him out if you like firearms and just class act videos. Go check him out. Tell him the Real Cobra Burnout sent you. All right, iCarry1. Link will be
down below.
Whoosh. And with that, I don't have any sponsors, but I did get this hat from S&I Arsenal. Go check out his channel. He doesn't really make a lot of vids. I wish he would. S&I Arsenal, go check him out as well. Link down below. All right. First off, let me just get into this video. I'm not going to post on like current topics per se that are in the news, but just where I get my news from. And it does evolve, it does change, but this is what I'm currently doing. So again, post up your comments where you get your news from, why. If you have a source that I haven't heard of that you think I should check out, let me know. I might be able to check it out. Time is limited. Do work a lot, but hey, always open to that. You know, try to keep the bashing of what I watch to a minimal. Right? Because no one wants that. I'm just telling you what I do. You tell me what you do. We're all happy Americans here. Okay. With that said, I'll just get this out there right now. There's a difference between news and then like opinions. What do they call them? Someone let me know. It just slips my mind now. So you should have straight up news, and then you have commentators who have a political bias one way or the other. Pretty obvious. So a lot of stuff I intake is probably going to be a little bit politically biased. But to start off with, let's just talk about physical media, that newspaper, that physical rag. I haven't gotten the local newspaper here for a couple years now. I used to get it. I've gotten it in every city I've lived in, at least as far as from me being an adult, living on my own with, money to spend on a newspaper type of thing. So I do actually miss the physical media. Why did I stop getting it? Even though I live in what would be considered a red state, a right-leaning state, the local newspaper all left. And, for the most part, it's not as bad as maybe some other states probably, but when I'm on the front page, I just want front page news. Give me what's happening in the world, that type of thing, and leave your political bias out of it. If I read it and I can tell right away that, oh, this is left-leaning, even if it's right-leaning and it's on the front page, this is a turnoff. Or if it's on the second page, third page, whatever. There's opinion sections for that. There's other areas for that in the newspaper. I don't need your political bias going into what should just be straight up news. Let me decide for myself what this is. I want to ingest regular news. Let me decide on my own. So that's why I cut off the newspaper. Another reason I actually was, it didn't get here in time for me to read it. So, I'm off to work, and then the paper shows up, so I get it after I get home from work. That don't do me any good, because I've already heard about it on the radio at lunchtime, and it's done. So there's that as well. Who here delivered newspapers when you were younger? I did it for a little bit of time, and it wasn't a lot of money. Let me tell you that. But I've been there, done that. All right, so there's that. Now I did make a little notes here, just so you know I like to cheat, so I don't get off topic too much. But TV. So TV is going to depend on, for you probably, do you have Dish Network? Do you have DirecTV? What package do you have? Do you just get it off of the the airwaves with an antenna? That type of thing. Do you even have TV cable at all? Cable, whatever. For me, I have Dish Network, and I do watch Fox News. Yeah, no surprise there, but not all of it, because there's some programs on there. Luckily, they're during the day when I'm at work. That's coincidence. Is that coincidence? But they seem to be pretty left-leaning. And so what I normally watch is, and this is kind of on a rotating basis, maybe like once every 3 days, no set schedule, but I'll check out Hannity. I'll check out Laura Ingraham. So those are back-to-back currently. So it's usually one or the other, because I like them both, but they're going to say the exact same thing, just with a little bit different tone to it or whatever, but it's pretty much the same news, and with the right-leaning spin to it. And, of course, Hannity is just straight-up Trumpetia. And if you're into that, you're full-on MAGA, there it is. Get on the Hannity train, and you'll be on that Trump train, guaranteed. But I've always listened to Hannity on radio and also watched him on TV for a long time now, so I still watch him. Tucker Carlson, I watch him not a whole lot, but more than I used to. Well, of course, now he has his own show, and he likes to get into those arguments, right? He'll try to get on guests that are of a different side of the spectrum politically as him, and he will engage in them and those political arguments. I don't really, sometimes maybe there's a win there. Sometimes it's just a lot of back and forth nonsense with no real substance. Sometimes it's okay, but overall, I'll watch it if I have time. He just gets a little carried away and always gets that spittle going off on the side, on the corner of his mouth, and it's kind of like, oh man, you got that spittle, get that spittle off. But anyway, there's that. Now here's one that some people may be like, what are you doing? Now I do watch The Blaze. I think it's called The Blaze now. I don't know. They have bought out or merged with CRTV, so now it's Blaze TV. Anyway, that's a whole other subsect I'll get into in a minute as far as internet news. But as far as TV goes, The Blaze, I do watch it a little bit. Usually in the mornings I'll hit it. I'll turn it to, I think it's channel 212 while I have my morning coffee. So I'll catch, depending on if I'm able to get up early enough. My schedule varies on a certain day, but I think it's Pat Unleashed. I'll catch the tail end of that, and then it rolls into some Glenn Beck program with Stu. Yeah, there's that. So I do watch that, and there it is. And I'll get into more about The Blaze and what's going on there here in a sec. What else do I watch on TV? I think that's about it as far as news goes. Every once in a while I'll try to catch the local weather or something like that, and that's just straight up news. So again, there's straight up news, and then there's like more of the political leaning news type of thing, if you want to call it that. Internet. I get a lot of my content off of internet because I'm a YouTuber. So I do watch a lot of YouTube vids. And let's see here. Louder with Crowder. I'm glad he's back. Those are some pretty good stuff right there. So I watched the Louder with Crowder. He does have that Mug Club. I don't really know the advantages of being part of the Mug Club. I think you get a little more extra video. But again, The Blaze is about to play into that, and I'll save that for a sec, in a few minutes here. Joe Rogan. There's JRE Experience, and there's some other channel. Both of them are his. Sub to both. Now, you may tell me this really isn't news. You're right. a lot of it isn't, but they hit on a lot of the current topics depending on what guest he has on. So it may or may not be current topics or his opinions on things. I don't agree with everything he says, but man, I like watching Joe Rogan for some reason. And at least probably 70% of what he puts out, I really enjoy. I may need to lump him more into a comedian type of thing with some really cool guests. I mean, he had Elon Musk on. That was crazy. Who's the guy from Fast and Loud? Oh, Richard Rollins. He had him on. I just watched like 2.5 hour thing. So Jerry Experience, I think, breaks it up, and then there's another one. I don't remember what it's called, but there's another one he has, and it is just like the full-on uncut vid. So it was like over 2.5 hours of him and Richard Rollins. And I like Gas Monkey Garage and Fast and Loud Show, all that stuff. So I was all into that. So I probably he's borderline. I'll probably do a separate vid sometime on just comedians that I watch, because actually I do spend a lot of time on YouTube just watching straight up stand-up style comedians that now have their own podcasts and stuff like that. And I spent a lot of time watching some older comedians that are no longer with us. That's crazy how you appreciate stuff that is gone and you didn't really understand the comedy when you were younger, or at least me. Ben Shapiro, that's another one on YouTube that I check out. Now, his videos are pretty lengthy as well, a lot of times over an hour, so I will kind of skim through them or set it to a faster speed. That's the beauty part about YouTube, including my vids. Set it to a faster speed. The video creators, the content creators, are only going to get credit for how much real time you watch. So if you have a 2-hour video and someone watches at 2 speed and it condenses it down to 1 hour, they only get credit for 1 hour on their view time. I don't know if that really makes a difference, but whatever. So kind of phasing out of the YouTube realm and just sticking with the internet, I have recently decided to pony up for a subscription to a service. It's if you know what CRT-TV was, the conservative radio TV, which had Mark Levin and a bunch of others, Louder with Crowder, that type of thing. They merged with the Blaze, so now it's Blaze TV, and I'm a member of that, or at least I got a subscription for probably another, I guess, 10 or 11 months. I don't know, whatever it is going on. So then this merger happens, and it's like, okay, well, now CRTV is part of the Blaze TV. So there that is. So I've been watching that. But what I do have on there, what I have been really enjoying is In the Woods with Phil. So Phil Robertson, the patriarch of the Robertson family, which you might know from Duck Dynasty. The Duck Commander or whatever it is show that is now off air because they were just getting too, for mainstream TV, I guess it was just too religious or whatever on their stuff. I don't know. But it's really cool to see Phil and doing whatever he wants. And these videos are they're between 10 to 15 minutes average. So not very long, but there's over 200 of them. There's 200 plus of them. So I'm just going through them right now, just enjoying them. Not binge watching them, but maybe one a day, one every other day. So I've got plenty of content from Phil, and it's good stuff because he does what he wants to do. If you were a Duck Commander or whatever, Duck Dynasty fan, there it is. And you can get a little bit of piece of that. Cy has been on, I know, 1 or 2 of them that I have seen so far. He has other people kind of show up periodically, but you see a little more raw behind the scenes that you didn't get to see in the cleaned up, produced show, so to speak, with Duck Dynasty. So, Phil in the Woods with Phil, I really like on Blaze TV. What else am I watching? Oh, Mark Levin. Louder with Crowder's on there now as well. I don't really know what the difference is between what's shown on Blaze TV and what's shown right on YouTube. I have yet to see, maybe I'm just missing it. I have yet to see that extra content. If you are a Louder with Crowder Mug Club person, I think you get the full-on Blaze TV subscription. And if you watch some of, Louder with Crowder just showed back up on the scene because he had to take a little break for health reasons. Thankfully, he's back putting out them vids, but he did mention that he had no idea this merger was happening because he was, linked up with the CRTV, and boom, now they're merged. So I'm kind of wondering how long this is going to last, because Crowder likes to push them boundaries, on the comedy side and the political side. So anyway, I enjoy him. Check him out. If you do want to check out Blaze TV and get all that, there's a lot more on there too. What else is on there? Let's see if I can pull it up. There's stuff I haven't even heard of. Of course, you get all the stuff that's on that regular Blaze TV thing. Pat Gray Unleashed. Wonderful World of Stu, which is, I don't even know why that's even advertised anymore. That crap hasn't been on in a long time from what I've seen, and there was only like 7 episodes, so whatever. But there was another one on here that was Steve Dace, I think is how you say it. Steve Dace, I've been watching him on there, and I'm liking most of it, and it's pretty good, in my opinion. We'll see if I keep being a fan there. I did not know who he was until like about a month or two ago. So there's that. And of course, half the stuff is Glenn Beck, it seems like, or at least a third of it. Eric Bolling has a show on here, America with Eric Bolling. He used to be on Fox News, and he got kind of pushed out with some claims that never came to fruition, as far as I know. That he was, I don't know, harassment in the workplace, that type of thing. So take that for what that is. I don't know the full backstory on that. Anyway, if you want to get on that, I have a link down below. Gets you $20 off. Gets me $20 as well. Blaze TV. You're going to go on the 1-year trial with me? I'm doing it. So hit me up down below with what you're watching. Oh, I didn't even mention this. I was going to mention this at the beginning. Microsoft is going to tell us what we should and should not watch as far as news. What is acceptable, what is not, what we should proceed with caution. And it's called NewsGuard. Apparently you got to download it, but from what I've heard, Facebook and Google will follow suit. So they're going to tell us, they're going to give that green check mark next to an approved media source, and apparently just go into their Microsoft Direct link here to download this NewsGuard thing. A bunch of 1 stars here, but people are not too happy because it is straight up biased towards the left. And I mean, they're throwing green check marks on BuzzFeed, Huffington Post, of course CNN, all the usual suspects, and they're throwing the red proceed with caution shields up on the more conservative right media. Blaze, like I was just talking about, is off. I think they're hitting up Fox on some stuff. So there it is. When Google gets a hold of that, that is going to be just another piece of their algorithm that will keep you from seeing a certain type of media. Beware. It is here. It is coming. Oh, and the final coup de grace of things I will randomly watch that could be considered news. And this is more like that when I want that intellectual piece of pecan pie that's really rich, or even better, that millionaire pie from Furr's Cafeteria. Yeah, you ever get a Furr's Cafeteria? If you have, you know what I'm talking about with a millionaire pie. If you've seen it there and you haven't tried it, try it. be warned, it is rich, decadent. And as far as equating that to a news source, that would be InfoWars. Yeah, that's right, with Alex Jones. I'll go over there and check that out every once in a while if I want a heavy dose of, conspiracy theory, but there is a lot of truth up in a lot of his news broadcasts and what's happening. Of course, everyone's attacking him. He was deplatformed, that type of thing. Moral of the story is, gather your stuff from different news sources, make your own decisions. And you notice I don't put in like CNN and stuff into mine. Of course, my furnace is kicking on now. But, maybe you do. Maybe you watch that stuff and you got to make your own decisions on what's legit and what's not. So post up what you watch down below. You watch anything crazy like I do on occasion? Maybe some of you don't think it's crazy. Maybe some of you think it's straight up. You are Alex Jones, InfoWars, 100%, and that's fine. You do you. And I got nothing against it. I watch it. So post up down below. Let me know. Boom.